Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 69.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Did I say that pervy enough?
Oh yeah.
69. We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, games, toys, gadgets, technology, cell phones, computers, graphics cards,
Stuff.
aliens, spaceships,
Nerdy shit. It's the technical term
nerdy
for
shit.
it.
Oh, whatever the hell we like.
Yep.
Welcome everybody to episode 69.
This is the Geekoholics Anonymous podcast.
My name is Rico. I've forgot what I was doing for a second.
It's the 69. It throws you right off, man.
I know, my head went in the gutter, right off the tracks.
There you go.
My name is Rico. I'm here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
and I don't need to do the intro again because we already did it.
There you go.
So, welcome everyone, episode 69. Let's get our minds out of the gutter. Been back
so
to
hard. Ba-bounce.
That just reminded me of something I got to follow up from on Imager.
Did it have 69 in it?
No,
If
but
so,
it
clear your cache.
had to do with someone's particular profession.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, there's a reminder to follow up on an image I saw there.
Oh boy. I don't know if we should talk about this any further.
Usually, we start the show with what you've been playing. Then we get into a little bit of news. And then our free-for-all, where we talk about whatever the hell we like, which is usually comics or movies or some other random story, which if we don't talk about off the top of the show.
Yeah.
Or normally, we talk about what Dane is drinking in our designated DD section.
That's the Dane's drinking section. Tonight, I'm drinking a snake bite.
What?
I know. So, that is Yukon Jack with a little bit of lime juice and just a dash, and I mean a dash of sparkling water. Just a dash though. You don't want to water it down. You just want to dash it.
What is Yukon Jack?
It is how do I even describe it? It's a Canadian liquor.
Oh, it's a liqueur.
No, it's like a honey whiskey.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like if you've ever had, I don't know if you've ever had the honey Jack Daniels.
Nope.
I was going to say it's a little bit like that, but not nearly as sweet. It's nice.
Sounds like
it's really nice.
Yummy.
It's not overly expensive. It's easy to get actually I hadn't seen it very many places, but I saw it at the liquor store when we were there a while ago, and I was like, hell yeah, some Yukon Jack.
I totally forgot my drink upstairs.
Is it sitting on the counter?
Well, it was just a normal drink. It was nothing special.
Oh,
just juice. Just juice today.
I was gonna say if it was sitting there,
if it was
the ice cubes melting, I'd say get your ass up there and get it.
Yeah, I would have ran up there and got it.
But
yeah.
Seeing as it's just juice, who cares?
Just lame assness. So Dane,
Yeah.
no Comic-Con this week.
No.
We're in the middle of summer.
That we are. Although
No
you
other-
sort of wouldn't know it around here today.
Oh, was it crap there?
It's pretty chilly. Yeah, last 2 days have been kind of cold.
Well, it's still pretty warm here.
It's nice now.
I don't know. Oh, it was a long weekend. BC Day. That's right.
Yeah, man. Monday was a holiday.
We didn't go anywhere. I was actually planning to do a trip to Van to come visit my sister and potentially see you.
And then she went and visited you instead.
Yeah, she happened to be here celebrating her
anniversary
with her husband. So, I don't know. We might have to do that another weekend. But
yeah,
basically, we just stuck around, went to the beaches, took the dogs for a bunch of walks, and I think I played couch for Adeline.
Very nice.
I think she slept on me at least 15 hours over the weekend.
Wow.
It was her new favorite thing.
Very nice.
Just like to pass it on me, which is kind of nice because I kind of binged, watched a couple shows this weekend.
Nice. Was one of them Stranger Things?
One of them was Stranger Things.
Nice.
And I also got into another new HBO show. What is it called? The Night of? Or In the Night? I think it's The Night of. I'm going to have to look it up now.
Oh.
Anyway, we can talk about that in our free-for-all section.
Sweet.
Didn't play too many games. Well, yes and no.
Fair enough.
Obviously, still playing a little bit of Pokemon Go. Not as much, and we'll get into that in the news, I think.
Yeah.
As to why I haven't been playing as much. Well, mainly, I hit level 21, so...
Oh, yeah, that grind starts real harsh there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I actually started playing Lawbreakers.
Yeah.
An alpha. It was last weekend, and it's on again this weekend, I believe. I just got an email from NVIDIA saying, hey, get a key, sign up here. But I didn't do that because my friendly co-host, Dane, hooked me up with a code.
I do what I can. Every once in a while, you know.
Now, the game promptly opens with this game is under construction alpha tag. So take my criticism with a grain of salt, as I assume there's going to be some changes, but I don't know how much it's going to change by the time now and it comes out. I played about 6 matches.
Okay, so not a ton, but enough.
Not a ton, but enough, like at least an hour and a half.
Okay, fair enough.
They don't seem to only have one game mode and one map. So it was the same map and mode that we played when we played it last year at PAX.
Right. That was when they essentially announced the game.
Mm-hmm. Might have been, I think there's another character available now.
Yeah, they did some like Jimmy rigging with some of the art. It looks a lot different now. And I feel like they've definitely changed. Well, they've changed a lot since we initially played it. To be fair.
Yeah, I didn't suck, for one. I sucked when we played it at PAX because the rocket carrier, or the rocket character,
right,
the big heavy dude, he's just terrible. I can't stand him. But
I did appreciate the fact that, like, initially when we played it, you couldn't change characters mid-match.
Yeah.
You can now. I'm sure that Overwatch had something to do with that.
So, for those of you unfamiliar, it's a multiplayer only class-based shooter. With its gimmick being that there are areas of the map where there is no gravity,
or very low gravity.
Yeah, essentially you can float around and fly around, even though your character may not necessarily have any flying abilities. There are one of the characters has a jetpack. One of them's just your typical run and gunner with a shoulder-mounted rocket launcher.
Which you can use to totally shoot behind you, by the way.
Mm-hmm. There's the heavy tank guy with the big rocket launcher. The one girl has a jetpack and like a minigun, and she can actually kind of fly around. There's a sword chick who
kind of like an assassin,
melee only with a grappling hook, so she can pull herself to you.
She seems like if you know how to use her, she seems strangely overpowered.
I played against some really good people with her, and
it was super maddening.
He is wrecking shop, but
yeah.
And there's another one, isn't there? Is there another one? I never played the other one.
I don't know, because there's like the law side, and then there's the breakers
that's the thing.
Side.
There's the law and the breaker side, and they're the exact same thing, but flipped.
Yeah, more or less.
So there's not like 8 different characters. I swear there was 5 per side, but I can't remember now, because I only played those 4.
Right, okay.
And I had been on both sides, and the law version or the breaker version were the exact same.
Right.
Gameplay wise, solid shooter. Like, controls well, super high frame rate, nice tight controls.
Mm-hmm.
Artwork.
Playing it on PC, obviously. So
yeah,
mouse and keyboard for the win, right?
Mouse and keyboard.
Good.
The characters are just meh. The artwork, while looking good, it's not, I don't know, it's not very inspiring locale. I'm not blown away by the map the map layout is very like mirror image. Each side is the same. It's just a lot of gray, not a lot of, I don't know. If it's something to do with, they're using Unreal for this, aren't they? Unreal Engine?
Believe so. I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, Cliff Bleszinski came from like Epic. I would imagine that's sort of like, he knows and his guys know how to use that engine.
But it's an alpha, yeah, but I don't see major character redesigns coming. Like, I don't know the names of the characters. I could care less. They look crappy to me personally. I had no attachment to any of them. I couldn't even, like I said, name them to you.
Yeah.
Whereas I could name every character in Overwatch or in, even the characters I feel like in Evolve have more character than the ones, than they do in Lawbreakers. I don't know. They just seem very generic.
Yeah. I mean,
it just seems like a game very focused on the gravity and the shooting and not much else. I don't know. It felt like it didn't have a soul.
To me, it's, I don't know. I mean, obviously I downloaded it as well. I only played like 2 or 3 matches. The problem that I found was that, like, kind of like you said, it felt sterile almost.
Yeah, it was,
and I don't know if that's just like partly because I sucked at it, so I kept getting wrecked pretty bad.
I was really good. I took screenshots. I came like first on my team like twice. I was killing guys. Like I was having no problem playing the game.
Interesting. Yeah. Like, see, like that was me the first time we played. Like the first time we played it at PAX, like I wrecked shop. I was like,
and I did very bad.
Yeah, and I was like one of the top guys on our team. Like I destroyed. But I don't know, when I played it in alpha, there's just like the damage seemed off. Like it seemed like everybody else was a huge bullet sponge.
The guns are,
and yet
like it controls well and it plays well, but just the guns don't have this oomph. Like I don't.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like I'm looking at it aesthetically, and it looks almost like an Unreal Tournament type of game. Like it's that kind of like real, that style of game. But yet, I don't know, like the guns don't have the lethality that I would expect from that type of game. And I don't know.
It seems like you have a lot of life. It takes a while to chip people down in that game for sure.
Unless it's me, it seems like, and then I just seem to get wrecked. Like there was a few times, where like I pretty much got one shot, like killed. Like it was crazy.
Well, it seems like the assassin chick can do you pretty quick.
Yeah, and I mean maybe I just got unlucky, and like the person playing the assassin on the opposite team just like wrecked my like bad. But yeah, I don't know. There was just something felt off about the weapon play in it. I don't know, and I mean, like, I love Unreal Tournament. I loved sort of that, like, I love the idea of being able to drop a rocket on a dude and that's it. Like if I land a rocket directly on you, like that's it. You're toast. I like that in games. This whole like 6-7 rockets to kill people is kind of annoying. But it's weird because it's not. I don't know. There's just something that seems off. And like, to be fair, like you said, it's an alpha and they're tweaking it a lot.
It is alpha. I'll give it that. But
there was something about it that I didn't walk away from it. Like, it's weird because initially I walked away from it and I wanted to play more. I didn't really know what my thoughts on it were necessarily, but I just knew I wanted to play more and I wanted to see more.
Yeah. Coming out of PAX, you're like, yeah, okay, that seems pretty cool. And me, on the other hand, because I did so bad, was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I've played it more now, and I've done well, but I just, like, I feel like the game is lifeless. It has no soul. The characters are just blah. It's just, doesn't seem, obviously it's a new studio, so maybe that's part of it, but I think Cliffy poached a lot of talented people.
Well, no, I mean, the game runs and the game plays really well.
No, the game is sound. The engine is sound. The game is sound, but
art style wise,
I
think
I don't like the art direction.
I think that the way that they initially were going was a little bit more cartoony and stuff, and then I think Overwatch came out, and you also had paladins, and you also had Battle, what's it called there? The Gearbox game that just came out. Battleborn. And I think Cliffy B sort of was like, you know what? We need to not have a similar art style to all of these. We need to differentiate ourselves. So I think that's when they decided, because they changed, like, since we played it at PAX till now, they completely changed the art style. And I remember, like, a while ago, they announced, like, you know what? We're completely changing this, and we're going way more gritty. We're going way more realistic. Yeah. We don't want to be sort of that kiddie, you know, this is going to be an M-rated game. There's going to be blood. There's going to be gore. I don't know if that was necessarily the right choice.
No, I don't.
But I don't know.
I did really well.
Yeah,
and I was doing good. But man,
to be fair, I'm holding off till I can play it a bit more, just because. Yeah. You know, I did have kind of a bad initial experience. You know, and like I said, I only played a couple matches, so I do plan on, you know, throwing it down in a few matches over the weekend coming up here and see sort of, you know, just how the vibe goes, see how it feels again. And I mean, it's an alpha. I mean, we're not even in beta yet. They could tweak a lot of stuff. You know, I know for a fact that Overwatch changed huge between when people first started playing the closed alpha and when the game finally came out. I remember, you know, reading and listening to some people who were playing in the alpha, and they were like, I don't know, this might be the first time that Blizzard, you know, released a bad game.
And then, you're saying that.
You know, and yet by the time, like, it came out into beta and they were actually, like, letting people play it, you know, I'd heard from multiple places that, like, it had changed dramatically. And, you know, and obviously it released and it's a fantastic game. So, I mean, that's, you know, there's still definitely time, and, you know, they're obviously getting people in playing it early and taking feedback. You know, they want to know what people think and how to take it. So that's a good sign.
And I noticed they have a lot of streamer comments and videos online, which is pretty funny. Like, see what the press is saying. None of these people are press.
Well, you know, for some people that is press, right?
It's true. I don't know. I don't like the characters. Like I said, I played really well. I don't know what else to say. It's an alpha. It might find its niche, but honestly, I don't think it's going to do that well.
Ultimately, I guess my issue with it,
I honestly think Battleborn is better than Lawbreakers.
Ooh. My real question is, why would I play Lawbreakers instead of Overwatch?
And ultimately, from the characters I don't care about, there's only 4 or 5, not even close to the 20 Overwatch has. But
again, you're in alpha, right? Like, I'm sure they haven't released all of the characters in Lawbreakers yet.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to have that many. I'll be amazed. None of their footage shows more than that. I don't know.
I'm not sure. But ultimately, the real question here is literally what would make me play it over Overwatch. And
that's it. I played like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I did well. And it's like, I'm
going to go play Overwatch now.
Yeah, I didn't want to go back to it. I'm like, whatever. Okay, I tried it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's not as good. It's not as fun.
That's kind of how I ended up feeling about
the characters. The characters had different abilities, but they felt the same.
They like did you said, feel surprisingly similar.
Everyone was bullet sponges. Like in Overwatch, every character is like, I've said it before, it's almost like playing a different game.
Yeah. No, it's very... There's a breadth to that game that's fantastic that's missing, I think.
I'm sure it's going to find its audience, and they're going to force some kind of esports tournament around it, but I don't know, man.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, I was kind of lucky on the weekend. We went down and watched the fireworks here in Vancouver. There's a fireworks
saw those on the news
competition that happens every year called the Celebration of Light, where fireworks teams from around the world get together and they shoot off like a half-an-hour fireworks show.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
In the Bay, downtown Vancouver, and like half the city shows up. There can be anywhere between like 200 and 500,000 people that show up for this thing and like flood the whole downtown area there. It's a little bit of a gong show, but also fantastic for catching Pokemon. So I leveled up like a ton on the Saturday. Unfortunately, didn't really catch anything too exciting. Just like lots of kind of standard and slightly rare or slightly uncommon Pokemon, but nothing really great. Yeah, that was kind of, I don't know. That was sort of my Saturday there. Monday, which was our day off, I did not get to play nearly as much as I was going to hope to play, which is, I don't know. Sometimes that's just the way things go. I kind of had some interruptions throughout the day, and I don't know why. I ended up sitting down at my computer, and I was like trying to figure out like what I wanted to play, and I ended up just opening Marvel Heroes 2016 again. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like
you're Diablo.
It's, yeah, man. It's, you know what it is? It's so easy. Like, I can just like go in there, be a badass, kill a bunch of dudes, level up a bunch. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like I got like, what was it, last weekend? Yeah, the previous weekend, if you logged in, you got a free random hero given to you, which was pretty sweet. So last weekend I managed to get...
You tweeted that out, I think, or put it on Facebook. I should have logged on, but I didn't.
Yeah, so I ended up getting like Silver Surfer for free last weekend. I've been playing Doctor Strange. I've almost got him at level 60 now. I'm at like level 57.
Jeez Louise.
So I've got my Daredevil's at level 51 now, and my Doctor Strange is almost max level. And I've got a few other characters that I've sort of just started messing around with. I've beat the game twice now, once with Daredevil and once with Doctor Strange. What's super interesting that they've added this year is that last time you'd beat the game and that was it. And it maxed out at around level 55 or so. Now what they've added for 2016 when they updated the game, at least as far as I can tell anyways, I don't remember it being there the last time I played a bunch of the game, but there's a whole nother chapter once you hit level 60. So like you beat the game and then it's like, oh, by the way, you're not quite done yet. This whole other thing is now lining up and becoming an issue, but you can't jump into that stuff until you're level 60. So I haven't yet gotten to that. I'm real close. So I just was trying to like level up my one Doctor Strange enough to be able to like finally play the last chapter, which is obviously the level 60 stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's easy to play. It's easy to jump into. It's, if I get like, if somebody like comes in or I get distracted or whatever, it's easy to just jump out of. Like I'm not really, I don't know. There's something about it that's so easy to jump in and out of.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's like Diablo. I mean, but with superheroes, it's great. So I don't know. Those guys are really doing a good job. I don't know. It's a weird thing that I sort of come back to from time to time. It's like when I get that itch to play play that type of game. If I want to play a Diablo or something like that, I feel like I'd rather play this. I don't know. There's certain things that Diablo does better, but I actually think Marvel Heroes is the better game. At least in like when we're talking about Diablo 3. Because I think the campaign is longer in Marvel Heroes, like versus Diablo. Like I feel like you can burn through Diablo and there's all of these difficulty levels. Like there's like 6 difficulty levels or something? Like easy, medium, hard, insane, bloodthirsty, maniac. I don't know. But there's like a whole bunch of these, and I mean, I know with Marvel Heroes, there is unlocked difficulties when you do beat the game, but I think there's only like 3. There's like your regular, hard, and maybe another one above that, but that's kind of it. But the story and the campaign is quite large. It's
just like, I think I have like a level 30 something character.
Yeah.
If I was to make a new character, it's the same game or campaign as like 2015, right? Like they've just changed systems and added stuff, or
they changed the very first like opening, I guess what they would call the sort of like the tutorial level, if you will, what they call the prologue. They've changed that now. I feel like it flows a little better. It's it's a little bit quicker, and it kind of flows a little better. I prefer it actually to the old one. And then, then the game starts and it gets going, and it's this, the same game, with the addition of the end now being, like I said, essentially there's a chapter 10 that's a level 60, and it's got multiple, I guess acts, if you will, in the chapter. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, it's free to play. It's not difficult to get multiple heroes. I mean, I have quite a few heroes now that I've gotten for free. I have spent a little bit of money on that game, but not much. I maybe gave them $20 at one point. And I don't think I spent any of it on actual characters. So, I mean, and yet I've probably unlocked 12 or 15 characters now, so that I can play them up to level 60. Because that's the thing, is you can play any character in the game except for the brand new ones that they've just releasing. You can play them all up to level 10. So you get a really good feel for whether or not, you want to actually unlock that character or pay money to play that character, or how you want to do it. But I've got quite a roster at this point, so.
Yeah, I know you've played it a while. I've barely played it. I've never finished the campaign. I've never put any money into it.
Yeah.
But I do like it. It's a good game.
It's just, like I said, it's a weird thing. It's just, for whatever reason, it just kind of sucks me back in from time to time.
Yeah, unlock some new characters, get some new loot. It just has the cycle.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it. I can easily jump in and just, run around, wreck shit, feel like a badass superhero, pick up some loot, and then leave. I played a little more Pokemon Go. We already talked about that. Not a lot. I don't have any stories. We'll talk about it more in news. Oh, I have a story.
What?
Oh man, this was such a piss off for anybody who plays Pokemon Go. They know the pain. So the other morning I was going out to my car. I had to walk a ways because I had to park around the block on the street. Anyways, I was walking out to my car, and a Blastoise spawned.
Oh.
Right there.
Wow.
So I get in this battle. He's not overly, his CP, he's only a 441 CP, but he's
Whatever.
a Blastoise. I'm yeah. Shit, yeah, this is awesome. Fucking rights. I haven't even got a Squirtle evolved to the second one yet. And here's a Blastoise. This is dope. So I wasted over 20 raspberries. I ran out of Great Balls, and I had about 23, and I used up all my Pokeballs. I ended up running out, and I had to walk away.
This is post-patch?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in the news.
It was heartbreaking, man. I ran out of Pokeballs. He didn't run away, which was great.
Mm-hmm. But you just ran out of balls.
I ran out of balls.
That's a big problem.
I know.
Running out of balls.
Yeah, I had to just and I was sitting there and I'm like, he's right fucking here, and I had to walk away.
We have a few stories about Pokemon Go, so I'll hold on to mine until we get to the news. But I did play some more Overwatch.
Yes, and
actually, I'm going to steal this story from the news. So they Overwatch had a big Summer Games mode patch that came out quite stealthily, honestly.
It may have come out stealthily, except for the giant email they sent.
Well, it just showed up. It's boom, here's Tuesday, and here's the new mode. And that's out now.
That's true. That's true.
It's not like we knew about it for a week or two. It's I think streamers or influencers were posting about stuff they got from Blizzard on Monday, maybe Sunday at the earliest, and then the game mode was out of the Tuesday update. So anyway, obviously it's a Rio heavily Summer Games, Olympic themed art and unlocks in Overwatch. So there's new character skins, sprays, and so forth.
Right.
The big thing is that there is a new mode, a heavily Rocket League inspired Lucio Ball, 3-on-3. Everyone plays as Lucio, shooting or blasting a giant soccer ball around an enclosed arena. And yeah, it's free.
sounds
New mode.
ridiculous.
It's a little event. It's kind of fun. I like it. I believe it's a 5-minute countdown clock. I think I've won 5 out of 6 games I played.
Wow.
It's fun. It's like Rocket League. It's just totally different. It's less about, you can't kill the other players at all. You can punch, or you can use Lucio's like concussive blast that pushes enemies away. Well, it basically launches the ball like super fast if you hit it properly.
Right.
You can run around the walls of the arena, and Lucio obviously has rollerblades, so he can actually skate on the walls. You've got his speed boost, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's whatever. It's free. It's not
Sounds like
amazing,
a fun
but
way
it's
to go.
little distraction. We were playing it. You get a free Summer Games loot box upon launching it, which you potentially could get some of the new skins that are just themed for this event. Not every character got skins,
Right.
but
just a few.
just a few. It's a neat mode. Hey, it's free, and
Yeah, why not, right?
you know, if there's more stuff like this is the kind of support you want in your games. And
Yeah.
anyway, I played it a bit. That's what I played, as well as our regular boys' night. We played some competitive, and I was looking at my stats. So I'm above. I'm more wins than losses. So
You're a lucky bastard.
I think I'm a 60-40 split.
Yeah, you're lucky. I think it's predominantly because like most of the time that I play, I'm playing
You
solo.
play by yourself, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just luck of the draw with you.
Totally. And
You're
it's,
like the
it's
getting
brutal.
stomped match or the stomping match, right?
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
like the two extremes.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
not very
fine.
many that are in between. It's usually I'm either, and I know fairly quickly whether or not it's what it's going to be too. It's kind of painful.
I
But-
don't think, with the exception of the Lucio ball, I don't think I ever played that game by myself. At worst, it's me and one of the other boys.
Yeah, well, there's lots of times like because I play games at weird times, right? So
Yeah, I
like,
never freaking see you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I always play. It's like on the weekend. It's usually in the morning or
Yes.
like kind of in the evening at a weird time. And
The weekend is when I play the least.
Yeah.
Weeknights are when I play the most, because the weekend is just like, hey, you're off work, you're hanging out with us and taking care of baby. So
yeah,
my
see, for
game
me,
time
it's
is
like during the
evenings
week.
and boys' night.
During the week is like, I get home and the wife's home and she's like, hey, let's have dinner and go for a walk and catch some Pokemon and grab ice cream and like, so it's like, oh, okay.
We do all that stuff, but for whatever reason, I get to play more during the week than on the weekends. I think it's more because on the weekends we're just not home.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
See,
visiting
and on the
people
weekend, I
or-
usually get up in the morning is the thing. Like, I'm usually up a few hours before my wife, so I play before
Yeah.
she gets up, right?
your
So.
early game plan. So I'm gonna say that's enough of what you've been playing.
Yeah.
I guess we can get into the news and stuff.
Breaking news.
There hasn't been a lot of news.
No, we're in that,
there's
like,
some-
little bit of a lull before Gamescom starts up.
yeah, when is that? That's like real quick, isn't it? In a week or two?
That's in like a week or so here, man. Because like
Is it?
Gamescom happens and then PAX happens fairly quickly afterwards,
Yeah.
like 2 weeks after or whatever. So
Gamescom,
Germany.
August, what is it? I'm reading this, the 18th to the 21st?
Wow,
Or 17th.
seems.
So yeah,
yeah,
like 2 weeks basically.
yeah. Like I said, we're on the cusp. I've been
Yeah.
getting those emails. Hey, if you're going to be at Gamescom,
The 18th to the 21st. And the 17th, which is cool, is a all media day.
right? They
Which
do
is
though.
which
media
is, in my
only day.
opinion, I feel like something that E3 should do. I don't know why they don't. I don't really think that PAX really needs that because they have 4 days.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
whole idea of PAX is for the
The
people.
E3
right?
only has 3. A media trade day for E3 would be amazing. But then that's August 17th is the press day, and then they've got 4 days which are open
to the public.
to the public.
And it is a huge, crazy gong show.
Yeah, they get like 100. It's easily the biggest show gaming wise in the world, hands down.
Yeah.
I tried convincing the wife
that you should go to Germany during Gamescom?
We should go to Germany. Yeah, we should go to Cologne, Germany, make it like a 2-week trip. It'd be really cool. Yeah, it didn't happen. Maybe one day. So, first story here. The death of Disney Infinity has begun. Obviously, you've known about this for a while. They announced they're done. The studio's shutting down. They sold too many toys. Anyway,
this is such a weird thing, man.
They laid out how everything's going to go down, what's getting shut down, when and how, from the apps to the PC version. And
it's essentially
30th.
Going away in like waves. They're kind of doing it in like 3 waves. I'm amazed though. Like essentially all of the online parts of this game, like essentially this game is gone by March of next year.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy to me. Like, I feel like the 3.0 didn't come out that long ago. Like, it's just it's crazy to me. I don't know.
September 30th, you will no longer be able to log in and play the PC, iOS, Google Android, and Amazon Android versions. They will no longer be available on their respective stores. The Steam version will remain operational, with the exception of online versions. Apple TV will be removed. Apple TV versions will be removed from the App Store. The community team will no longer be reviewing or approving any new toy boxes. As of January 3rd, no in-game purchases. Like, really? So you're still taking people's money up until January? The game's done. You shouldn't be taking any money for anything. Well, you should unlock everything at this point and just be free.
Yeah, you would kind of think they would do something like that.
And then March 3rd, the Apple TV Windows versions will no longer be supported or playable.
All Disney Infinity online services and community features for all versions will be discontinued. So I guess essentially you can play the single player.
You'll still be able to play the campaigns, and I guess you can still play the local toy boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can download the toy boxes up until March 3rd. So they're not doing any new ones after September 30th. So maybe after September 30th, you might want to go in and download the top toy box games to play offline, if I think that's possible. So yeah, anyway, that's dumb. Stupid Disney.
Wow.
Wrecked it. They had a bunch of cool characters that they should have released. It makes me angry that we're not getting them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't know, like that.
It's funny how they just pulled
before, and
they just pulled the chute and they're just like, whoop.
I still cannot believe that game failed. Like, that was such a situation of like
mismanagement.
Oh, so bad. Makes me angry when I think about it.
Yeah. That's annoying. It makes me annoyed because,
and I'm not even a fan of them.
There was more characters to come out and like different campaigns. Like, I was looking forward to more of the characters. Like, I really liked them. I didn't play tons of the game. Like, it's not the best game. It's a kid's game.
Yeah.
Who knows what works eventually down the road. I might still play with my daughter when she's old enough. But I'd love the figures, like the Marvel and the Star Wars figures. They were awesome little collectibles, at the very least.
I know, they were great.
Some of the best for those franchises. Oh, well. Hearthstone has a new adventure coming out this week, I believe it is. It's,
yeah, I've been getting emails about it.
Last night, Hearthstone Adventure, One Night in Karazhan.
It's a party.
Yeah, it's a big party. The wizard Mediv has invited you to a night of festivities at his magical tower.
Yeah. So it goes live August 11th.
New cards, 4 wings, similar to the past expansions with different wings. You can buy them separately or unlock them with gold if you have enough gold, which I do not have enough. Man, I suck at that game.
I haven't played that game in ages.
45 new cards. I tried playing it when the last expansion came out.
And got wrecked?
Yeah, I got wrecked. I don't have any of the new cards. I'm so mismatched. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I really like that game. That's a problem. See, when you leave a game like that for so long,
you're screwed. You can't go back to it.
Well, you can go back, but going back,
You got to do a bunch of research. You got to spend a bunch of money.
It literally involves you. It literally involves you enrolling into a class.
Just about.
Blizzard should almost have a, hey, you've been gone for 2 years. Here's what's new. These are the new mechanics. This is how you can get up to speed. Try building this simple deck that's still competitive, that uses old cards, but you won't get stomped.
It's a little bit like Magic, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like any card deck building game. You have to keep up and spend the money or unlock the cards, or you're just left behind. It's just kind of sucks because that wasn't fun.
And the part of the deck building game that I don't like is the deck building. So
I don't mind the deck building, but when you don't have the cards, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Xbox Summer Update has started rolling out. I noticed on my system that it is already installed. And this stupid page seems to have crashed on me, so I'm going to launch that again. What the hell?
It unlocks a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they changed up the games tab. They've added Cortana.
Background music now.
Yeah, background music, which is something people have been bitching for because that was like a day one feature on 360.
Uh-huh. They're also launching alongside the background music. You'll be able to use Groove's music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and others are coming later.
Yeah, the improved game collection, how it displays your games when you go to your games tab for managing all that. It's kind of nice. You can actually, before it used to show demos and crap in all your games.
Yeah, it was super annoying.
You can hide them now, which is kind of nice.
Yay.
Because I had all kinds of alphas and demos.
Yep.
And pre-release versions that I was given access to. And anyway.
You're never going to play them again, so you might as well get rid of them.
Well, yeah, like they're uninstalled, but they show up my tabs and they have usually ugly icons because they were not final release titles.
Yep.
And, yeah.
They also announced language region independence, which to me is a little bit crazy that they didn't do this before. Like, just because I live in Germany does not mean I want everything in the Microsoft store to be shown in German. Like, people move around the world.
So you can
actually set your language independent of where you live, which is awesome. That's super cool.
Improved sharing. I haven't played with that. I have tried taking a screenshot with Xbox One, and it used to be a pain in the ass, so I'm going to have to go try that again. On PS4, I can take a screenshot and share it on Twitter or Facebook.
It's super easy, and it's
a couple
awesome.
button presses. It's super easy. On Xbox, it's like, where the hell did my screenshot go? It's buried in some bullshit, cloud freaking OneDrive crap, and I got to go to my computer to go share it, and it's it's just ridiculous. And
that's annoying.
These are supposed to be the software guys.
Yeah.
I just never shared anything because it was just clusterfuck.
To be honest, I don't think I've ever shared anything from my Xbox.
No, I haven't.
Like you said, from my PlayStation 4, it's so easy. I've shared tons of shit from my PlayStation 4 on a somewhat regular basis. It's easy to show clips or screenshots or any of that. It's great. But yeah, I've never thought of even trying to do it on my Xbox One. Because then you got to load the app, and if you don't have the Facebook app or the Twitter app pre-installed, and then you got to sign in. It's such a horrible thing.
Oh, and then there's a bunch of Windows 10 upgrades.
Yeah, they've now converged the Xbox and the Windows Store, so now they're merged. I don't really know, how that. I don't know. I guess it's mainly just the experience feels the same now across your computer and your Xbox One. They're saying that you're gonna be able to find games faster and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me it just seems like
don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the game tab stuff is cool. The background music and some of those changes are nice. I would just like them to get a lot faster, but it didn't seem like it's any faster. It still does weird chugging around when you're moving around menus.
To be fair, though, they are also adding the top Windows 10 PC games are showing up on Xbox Live in the app now, which is kind of cool. And I really like this one. They've now added 60 FPS game clip recordings with the game bar on PC. Mm-hmm. So you can now use the very high video quality setting in the Xbox app, and you can record your game clips in 60 FPS.
So of course, in the Windows 10.
Of course, that's once the new Windows 10 anniversary update starts rolling out, which was yesterday, I believe they started rolling that out. It was supposed to start rolling out yesterday.
I was just going to ask you if that was out yet.
I haven't seen it on my PC yet.
I got an email about it from them.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a big...
Thanks for celebrating the first year of Windows 10. You're so awesome.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's no longer free.
Yeah. I downloaded and installed on 2 machines. I was thinking about freaking whipping together one of my older machines just to get a third key.
Oh,
so I could have 3 installs, but it didn't happen.
Doesn't really work like that anyways, so. Because your machine ID would be totally different. It would be a giant pain. I'll spare you all the details.
Yeah. So, okay, if you guys are sick of Pokemon, you can tune out for like 5 minutes. We'll try to be quick. Basically, if you've been playing Pokemon Go, you probably noticed a big patch that went out.
Last Sunday.
Niantic shut down a bunch of the tracker sites.
So Pokevision and a bunch of other ones.
Yeah, a bunch of other ones. A couple have popped up, but they don't seem to be as good.
It's because Niantic shut down the API to allow anybody to connect into and find out what was going on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
They claimed that this was because it was
compromising stability for servers, the game,
speed. It was mainly
experience.
Speed. It was the fact that they had all these people connecting into their back-end APIs to try and like update Pokevision, and it's just they're not there yet.
And
it was causing them like big performance hits, and they just said, "Look, we're shutting it off."
I don't know how true that is because the game played just perfectly fine for me, but. They said this, shut down all the trackers, put out a patch, and then they removed the tracking that was built in the game, which it hasn't worked since like a week after the game launched.
Yeah,
let's be honest,
they shut that down.
They don't even know what they're doing and or have the skill, or maybe they're revising the system because it didn't work the way it.
Well, to be fair, the problem with the three footprint system is that most people had no idea what those meant.
Well,
and they didn't do a very good job of explaining it.
That's not entirely true because once you knew how it worked really well.
Yes,
I tracked down my first Eevee in Disneyland, no problem, using the footprints.
Right.
Because I could tell it's basically hot potato, cold potato. Oh, I'm going the wrong way because he disappeared. Turn around. Oh, 3 footsteps, 2 footsteps, 1. I'm going the right direction. Oh, there he is. Look.
Yeah.
But the thing is that feature from what Reddit said was it was tracking the players in comparison to the Pokemon, like all the players. So 80 plus million players now. Whatever they did, they coded it wrong or it was handled incorrectly. They say that it's going to come back. They're going to fix it. They're going to revise it. It wasn't working as intended. But at the same time, these sites supplemented that the main mechanic of the game, hunting them, knowing where they are and hunting them, is broken or doesn't even exist now. They just removed it.
Yeah.
They completely ripped out. So now you just randomly wander and you're lucky if you get a good Pokemon or not.
Well, and the thing that
there's no hunting. It's just luck of the draw now.
And the really, really frustrating part about it is that there's this nearby tab. So you click on it and it shows these Pokemon that are nearby. But now the question that I have is, and this would make it like seem logical in my brain, that the Pokemon that are nearby, the closest one would be the first one in that list.
Yeah.
But that's totally not the case.
No.
Lots of times, like I'll click on that nearby list and it'll show me like 9 Pokemon or whatever that may or may not be close to me. And I'll go, oh wow, that's really crazy. And I'll wander around and nothing that I was hoping to find shows up. And yet something that was like showing up last in that list will pop up randomly out of nowhere and I'll catch it. Like there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason with that nearby list. It just seems like it's it seems to put the Pokemon that you haven't caught yet in that list somewhere near the top to maybe let you know, like, hey, something like this is around here. But now you have absolutely no idea where that is. And like, they've never said, is nearby. Is it a square kilometer? Is it a square mile? Like, how far?
Apparently, each footprint indicated when it was working was up to 100 meters. So 3-foot footprint meant they were up to 300 meters from you.
Or further?
No. Up to 300. So it was like 100 per footprint. That's
Right.
how it worked originally when it was working. But they've gone and screwed that up. They can't even get it working. So this pissed fans off big time.
Well, you've essentially broken the game because, like you said, like some of us don't have time to wander around aimlessly in hopes of getting a good Pokemon.
So when you use this site, you could go to it and you say, oh, hey, at the park by my house, there's a Charmander. I'm going to leave the house and go run and get that. And that's what people were doing. Yeah, sure, it's not the same, but the in-game doesn't even work. So you can't even hunt properly, which is the whole point of the game.
Yeah.
So people got pissed off. They shut down all these sites. And now, I don't know, people are asking for refunds.
Oh, yeah, it's really blown up in their face.
It's really bad. And the worst thing is that Niantic, no comment. They're not answering. They don't even actually deal with part of people are complaining. They're like, part of the terms and conditions of being just listed in Google Play is that you have to offer a support email and get back to your customers.
Right.
They have like just radio silence. They just came out and said, oh yeah, it wasn't working and we had to shut down these sites because they were hurting us because we want to bring the game out to more people. It's like, okay, no, you're just cutting features back so that you can launch in more places to try and make more money while the iron's hot instead of fixing like the prime game mechanic of the game. It's ridiculous. And then if you go back and actually watch the trailer to the game of
I was looking at that. It actually
this is over
shows in the trailer.
It's a year and a half old. This trailer shows that you were getting GPS indicators with precise distance to
these are
the
300
Pokemon,
feet to that character or 200 feet to that Pokemon. And who knows? Maybe they're planning on bringing that in. I don't know,
but
I really hope so. But if whatever they do,
I'm calling it now. They're going to be getting sued by someone.
Yeah,
just because of that trailer. Hey, freaking Gearbox got sued for changing the graphics in Aliens Colonial Marines. Trust me, they show features in that trailer that aren't in the game. Sure, maybe they intend to do it one day, but it's none of those features are there now. There's no trading. There's no actual real tangible, like reliable hunting method. And they've just gone and pissed everyone off and they're not talking to their fans. Like, just, that's not how you do it.
They did finally release a statement like today or
But
whatever.
It was a really crappy statement. Like,
they didn't have much to say.
Didn't do anything.
They
had nothing to say.
Yeah.
It was a non-statement. It didn't make anyone feel any better.
Yeah, they need to fix it and fast.
And that's one of the main reasons that I've barely been playing. Once they turn that off, it's like, it's just pointless. I'll just launch it. I go to work. I launch it, see if anything pops up at my office. I launch it when I come home, and I launch it when I go to the park to hit the Pokestop that I know is there, but there's no hunting. It's just...
No, like, I do a similar thing. Like, for me, like, I open it and I'll leave it open, like, when we go for walks and stuff, mainly just to hatch the eggs and stuff, though. It's not even, if it vibrates, chances are it's a fucking Pidgey or a Weedle or, or a Rata. Like, so 90% of the time, that's all there is around me. So it's really annoying. Painful too.
I hope they get their act together quick before everyone just turns and runs, because it's fun. When it was working, that was the best. When I was at Disneyland and I used the tracking and hunting, that was the best.
Yeah, when it was working, it was so much fun.
And using those websites, it was working when using those websites over the last week or so. I got some new Pokemon that I had never had because I'm like, okay, we gotta go down this street. We gotta go over here. We gotta go over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what the game should be like when it's working. So hopefully sooner than later. I don't know.
I just hope that by the time they have done it, I'm not.
Well, if they don't do it soon, people are going to be freaking like. I've already considerably playing less, so I don't know.
Oh, no, my play is definitely dropped.
Speaking of Pokemon,
yes,
real Pokemon.
Oh.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
As opposed to those fake Pokemon.
The real
video
Pokemon
games.
game that
hate those.
Pokemon Go is based on.
Oh, yes.
On 3DS coming out this November 18th.
Right.
Which I think will do really well because of the
huge hype that everybody's playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, they're going to want to get into the new one, and this is the new one coming out. And they're doing a pretty amazing job with new forms for classic Pokemon and adding some amazing looking new Pokemon. But a lot of people's favorites, old Pokemon, have new forms thanks to the game's like Aloha mechanic. A lot of favorite characters have new forms. The internet blew up in particular with Executor. Has a new form which basically turns him into a big coconut tree.
I saw that and I went, what?
It looks hilarious. It's pretty funny.
It really does.
But a lot of old characters, cute characters, have some really cool new forms, and they have a new Z move that you can unleash, which is basically looks like a super like Pokemon summon attack.
Unleash the Z move.
It's type based, so it's not per Pokemon, but like there'll be Z moves for each type, right. And they're just giant, super animated, over the top, like giant attacks, which looks really cool. Obviously, I'll pick this up. I've played. They're not the best freaking role playing games, but they're a good, solid game. I tried getting back into is it Z or Y? I can't remember which one I have.
I've got one of those as well.
I got into it, and I'm like, what am I doing? Where am I? And like, I got all the gym badges, but there's stuff to do after you get all the gym badges.
Right.
And of course, I'm like, I'm just going to go try and collect some Pokemon and see what's going on. The first tall grass I walk into, I get attacked by frickin' Zapdos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah, the frickin' legendary
Pokemon bird.
The Team Instinct.
Yeah.
From Pokemon Go, their mascot, basically. He shows up.
Team Instinct, motherfucker.
I'm getting ready to throw a ball at him, and he runs away. Didn't even get a chance to throw one ball at him. I'm like, no. So I don't know what prompted him to just spawn randomly the first character, but anyway.
That's pretty funny, though.
It is pretty funny. So yeah, tons of new stuff in the new Pokemon Sun. There's links on the site if you want to get into that. We talked about this, I guess, a month or two ago about G2A, the key reselling site.
And how much of
basically Patrick Klepek on Kotaku put a couple stories.
Used to be on Kotaku.
Yeah, used to be Kotaku, who has now moved to Vice Gaming.
Okay, hold on one second. When the hell did Vice Gaming become a thing?
When they hired Austin from Giant Bomb East.
Yeah, how did I miss that? When did that happen?
They've always had a gaming thing, but I think it was just a supplement to their Vice news stories. So it's like, if you like our crazy documentaries and news, by the way, we got this couple of news thing that video game stuff will just sneak in here.
It's crazy to me. I realized the other day when somebody reposted Austin's a story that he did, and I was just like, what the hell? I was like, and I thought maybe he just wrote a story for another website. And then I realized he actually...
No, he left Giant Bomb East and he's their editor-in-chief. He's running Vice Gaming.
That's crazy. So now Patrick Klepek has left Kotaku and is over at Vice Gaming as senior editor. It's just crazy to me, man. I don't know. Yeah, wow.
It's awesome. So before he left, he was Kotaku, and he talked about we talked about the Tiny Build guy talking about how keys got stolen and sold on their website, and G2A is like, well, whatever, we can deactivate them. And they're like, but that doesn't help us. That just punishes our fans. And then they get mad at us because they don't know that keys are, were gained.
Well, because they bought the keys legitimately. Yeah. They don't know that they're being sold. Yeah.
So Patrick dug in to see how this happens, and he linked up with a Brazilian hacker who kind of basically explained, well, this is how you steal, You know, you get a stolen credit card, you go buy a bunch of keys, and then I turn it into $500. And then that's the end of it. And people seem to do this all over the place. It's almost kind of like the Counter-Strike skin stuff. It's buying digital goods and reselling it somewhere else. And
well, yeah, people steal the credit cards. Then they use the stolen credit cards to buy the Steam keys or buy the keys for these games. Then they resell the games to G2A, and then the money they get back, they can actually use because it's essentially been laundered.
Yeah, like a prime example, the Humble monthly bundle. I subscribe to that. You get like 6-7 games, a bunch of Steam keys. Normally, I just give away the keys to games I'm never going to play. But you could just you could sell it to G2A. You know, you won't get much. I don't think any of the games are really
partly
worth
like
anything.
What G2A was originally designed for.
Yeah, like
it was like you buy a video card and it comes with a game that you maybe already own or you're never going to play.
You got a key to Overwatch for some reason. You got like you said, a key with your video card, but you don't want to go to eBay. You sell it to these guys, and then they sell it, you know, to in their marketplace.
They facilitate, right? So you sell it to them for whatever, and it, you know,
they can't really be held too accountable that people are getting keys illegally. But he just does a big deep dive into how people scam and make money off of this, and how this website came to be so big, and their deals with streamers and stuff. It's really interesting to read. I don't know how I feel about it. Like,
I think the real issue that I have is how heavily pushed it is. I don't know, like
by streamers and influencers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Pretty much partnered with every large one that exists.
Yeah, I mean, they push really hard, and I mean, and some of the money that some of these streamers can make off of the deals is quite substantial. And I understand, like, it's a secondary source of income, which makes sense. You know, if you're going to be getting a monthly income from these guys, it makes a lot more sense than, you know, hoping that you're going to do well, you know, 1 month to the next on YouTube, because I know how that, you know, can really be up and down and things like that. But, like, I don't know. It's just, it seems shady when, you know, I don't know. And like you said, it's like, it's how can you really facilitate? How can they know that these are, you know, stolen credit cards and things like that? You know, because a lot of times these credit cards haven't even been flagged as stolen yet. So, I mean, as far as they're aware,
they have no clue. There's a big lag.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, on one hand, it's, you know, I look at G2A and I go, ooh, this is shady. You guys are gross. And on the other hand, I look at it and I go, like, well, at the same time, like, what are they really supposed to do? Like, how can they really verify all of this stuff? Like, do they do a waiting period? Like, you give them a game or you give them keys and there's like a mandatory, like, 24-hour period of waiting that they can't sell them, or, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it starts to get very complicated. I don't know. I don't really know what the solution is there. And obviously,
that sounds almost like a solution. There's like a waiting period on the key.
You know, like,
before they can turn around and sell it. Like,
well, that or like
eBay holds your money and PayPal holds your money on physical goods you sell to customers.
That's true.
So maybe they'll move to something like, they're getting a lot of flack, that's for sure. So I'm sure they're going to come up with something.
That, or here's the other thing: who is honestly buying 25 keys or 40 keys or 50 or 100 keys?
Yeah, that should raise a freaking flag.
Like, right off the bat, if you're selling more than like 5 keys, that should right off the bat, like, flag the account and be like, why are you selling? Like, where are these keys coming from?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, there's easy fix. Like, there you go. You should work there. Even like two keys, over 2 keys has got to be like raise an eyebrow. Like, why are you selling us 2 keys to Overwatch? Like, I don't know about you, but I've never had multiple keys to big titles in my life.
Again, like I said, I like, say for, you know,
maybe the threshold could be 5.
2 video cards and each one came with a key, so you got 2 keys. Like, but I feel like if you've got more than 5 keys to a game, chances are that's ill-gotten.
It's pretty obvious. Yeah,
like,
there's an easy fix. There you go. You just fixed it.
I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would cause issues or what, or, you know, I think it's hard though, right?
it's funny how people will find a way, and these digital type goods make it very easy and difficult to track. Like,
oh yeah, I'm sure that they would just make, if that was the case, then you would just have 100 dummy accounts all, selling 5 keys each or whatever, right? Like that's the other flip side that would happen.
Like you can't steal a rig full of Overwatch keys or any AAA title, for example.
No.
It would get noticed.
Yeah.
Like it would get noticed in a second. But if you stole hundreds of keys or thousands of keys, which is what happens with stolen credit cards, it's essentially like stealing a trailer load of physical goods.
Yep.
You're selling them at a discount off the back of the truck, and G2A just happens to be the freaking Italian mobster that you're selling.
Well, they're essentially the back of the truck is the problem.
Well, they're not. Yeah, they're the back of the truck selling it. That's true.
Right?
They picked up the trailer that you dumped in the parking lot.
You dump the trailer for them, and they're the ones selling it off the back of the truck. But
and they just kind of look the other way and just like, we paid legitimate money for this.
I don't know why somebody sold us 500 keys.
Yeah,
that's not strange at all.
What they're doing is not illegal, but it definitely has created a marketplace for people to do some shady shit. And the thing is it hurts the developers.
Well, because they don't
because they get the chargeback from the credit card company. They're out a key, which someone's playing the game, and like you said, the people don't. As far as they know, their key's legitimate. Do you want to burn bridges with your customer by shutting down their key? Because
that's the thing. Because your customer paid money. Like they're trying to not hack. They're trying to not.
Yeah, they paid for the game.
Like as far as they're concerned, they're paying for the game. But the thing is things like Steam and Good Old Games, things like that. The developers or the publishers have deals with Steam or with these other companies. So when a copy is sold, they get a kickback. So not only are they, selling the game, they're getting a piece of that pie. Like essentially Steam facilitates and they say, we take 30% or whatever our cut is, but the rest is yours. With G2A, depending on how these keys get garnished,
they get nothing.
They either get nothing or it ends up costing them money down the road because it's a stolen credit card.
Yeah, the stolen credit card gets busted and it takes months for it to come back. It's like, oh, we didn't sell 1,000 copies of our game. They were all stolen.
Yeah.
The story didn't talk about any of those methods you just talked about kind of fixing this, eh? I think a holding period and a limit. If G2A wants to clean up their act and legitimize the thing,
or at least do it for at least new accounts or something like that. Like
because
for up to however long you get any deal you do gets held for say 24 hours, and then after that, or 48 hours, I don't know.
I think it would have to be 2 weeks to a month.
No, because then nobody's gonna buy. Nobody's gonna sell games to you then.
Well, you gotta have it. You gotta. Because I know who's legit and who's not legit, because the non-legit people won't put up with it, but legit people will put up with it. Whatever.
Yeah, I could see it for even 48 hours is starting to push it, but I think that would be fair. And then once you have once your account has been flagged as you sell legitimately, then maybe the hold period goes away.
Yeah.
But the limit still stays. You can never sell more than 5 keys at a time.
Yeah.
Of this, at least of the same key or something. You'd have to do it that way. The same key, right? Because maybe you do get a humble bundle and a bunch of the games you're never going to play, so you sell a bunch of them, but they're all different.
That reminds me, I have a bunch of keys to give away on Twitter for a bunch of shit I'm never going to play.
Sweet.
Enough of that. Yeah. G2A scams developers, and they don't care. Enables crooks. We missed this from Comic-Con. Sega announced a new Sonic game, 2 Sonic games apparently, to recapture the glory days. I hate Sonic, so yeah.
We totally talked about this.
No, we didn't.
I brought it up.
I don't remember.
Really?
Do I have Alzheimer's?
I don't know, man. Maybe. I totally talked about the new Sonic game that got announced.
I'm pretty sure we didn't.
It's a throwback to the glory days of Sonic. At least that's what they're trying to sell it as.
I think you're thinking about the last time we talked about Sonic, which was basically the exact same thing over a year or so ago. Fuck, Sonic sucks. Sorry, anyone out there who likes Sonic.
I like
Sonic. It was never as good as Mario. It was a good-looking mascot. His games were, I don't know, I didn't like.
I really liked the first 3 Sonic games for Genesis were awesome.
Yeah, I
liked Sonic Adventure, or is it Sonic Adventure for Dreamcast? Was beautiful and fun to play.
Yeah,
and that's
at best.
Kind of where it lost me.
Highly overrated series. That's how I feel.
All right, Jeff Gertzman.
It's a true story. This is a cool story. Vita has been hacked to run emulators and homebrew. I'm not going to say who. It wasn't me, but someone I know went and did this and posted a photo to me online of running Super Mario RPG from Super Nintendo on their Vita.
I think I might know who that was.
It looked amazing.
Huh.
I have not tried this. It doesn't seem to F around with your firmware. I don't think it would break or make your Vita not able to play any games. Basically, it's designed to load homebrew, and of course, that kind of enables emulators. But the guys who have made this hack have also said they've made it very difficult to try for anyone to try and want to use it to do piracy. Then again, depending on how you feel about emulators, you could just say that they're essentially enabling piracy because emulators are essentially piracy to a certain degree. But for a lot of people forget that because it's old systems that are not necessarily easy to get a hold of and or play because most of them are dying
or dead.
Yada, yada. But yeah, man, that sounds pretty cool. I'm going to have to try that. Hopefully I don't break my Vita, but it doesn't sound like it's very easy. You just load it from a web page and you're pretty much
that's kind of what it sounds like. You essentially download it via the browser and then it installs an app.
And then you use it essentially FTP from your computer to upload a couple files and Bob's your uncle. We talked about Overwatch Rocket League mode. Hey, I don't know. That story, sorry about that Vita hacked made me kind of excited because my old PSP used to be hacked and I had a bunch of emulators on it.
And it was awesome?
And it was awesome until I updated it and then it broke all that. So
right. Which I'm sure now we're going to start seeing. I mean, I don't know how much because obviously like Sony seems like they're
Vita's like
kicking this thing out to pasture, but at the same time it seems like now the whole we break it, they fix it, we break it, they fix it is going to begin.
I'm sure they'll patch it. It'll be security enhancements. Single line patch notes
3.61 will be patched out. Yeah, exactly.
Game Informer released their new cover for their next issue. It's Destiny Rise of Iron. Goes into a bunch of the new modes, new features, new raid.
Wrath of the Machine.
Yeah.
Ooh, new light level. Ooh.
They're revamping the artifact system, which will actually have some gameplay effects, special abilities. As of right now, artifacts do nothing except for help with your gear score and some of your stats. Some new Crucible modes. They're talking about some of the stuff, their seasonal events coming back. And revamping some old strikes, and of course there's going to be
Sparrow Racing League is back in December. I am so excited.
And they'll have the whole new campaign, of course, as well. Above all of this, so
we're both going to buy it. So we both poo it, but we're both going to buy it.
No, I'm going to get it. I liked Taken King; was really good.
It was great.
And then the big news, I forgot to freaking I forgot to link this. No Man's Sky, some asshole bought a leaked copy on eBay for $1,300. A
lot of money.
And he immediately started streaming and uploading videos to the game.
Which have all been taken down, by the way.
Setting the internet on fire and upsetting people with their the realistic expectation of what No Man's Sky is, and isn't. Apparently, he beat the game in 30 hours, whereas, they were saying, hundreds of hours. And what is the definition of beating a game like this? And
right.
What did he do? Did he, in fact, beat
essentially,
it? People were debating.
Made it to the middle of the universe, which is kind of what they're calling it as beating it, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So is making it to the middle of the galaxy or whatever is sort of their, yeah.
So there's a bunch of No Man's Sky spoilers out there.
So if you're not wanting to get in, know about it, then
30 hours is a pretty decent campaign to me if you're plugging away at it to try and run through it. I
get the feeling that you could do it in 30 hours, and I also get the feeling like that you could spend hundreds of hours in that game.
Yeah, I
feel like it's kind of like anything.
Sean Murray, like one of the main designers of the game, I think producer, whatever the hell his I don't know what his title is, but he said they would take between 40 and 100 hours. So obviously it depends on how you play it, right?
Yep.
Comes out next Tuesday, August 9th on PS4, and then the 11th or is it the 11th? What is the Friday? It comes out on Friday, the 12th on PC.
It's a weird day.
On Steam. I will be, I think I'm going to get it on PS4, considering there's like zero multiplayer.
Oh, man.
And then I can remote play it from away from home easily.
You sadden me.
Yeah.
Mouse and keyboard, motherfucker. Mouse and keyboard.
It's not a Twitch shooter, and it's
still first person,
They're
man.
saying running into other players is very unlikely, so it sounds like there really is no multiplayer.
Yeah, but still, you're running around, you're shooting stuff. It's first person. Oh.
Yeah, so that'll be out next week, so probably have some impressions of our own. It looks cool. I know it's not the be-all, end-all, and that's not what I was expecting, but a lot of people just have really built up the hype for this game. I don't... It's definitely not going to match the hype. It's impossible at this point, so...
it's going to be...
It's going to be interesting to see the internet blow up next week when, it's going to get 8s or 7s. And maybe it'll get 9s and 10s from places. But it's funny. We'll see.
It would not surprise me if this game comes out and people are
super
so disappointed. And I think they can't help but be at this point. They've built it up so much. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to meet the hype expectations for this game. Especially when they started, 2 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago?
They've been pushing this.
Like, you can,
fly to this
explore
world,
the entire galaxy and find all these creatures. It's procedurally generated, essentially endless, and just a lot of the wording, right? So people's minds are like, "Oh my god, this is the be-all, end-all sci-fi epic game forever." I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. From what I see, I already can imagine what it's like. It's one of these survival games that like Ark or Rust or whatever, but it's a sci-fi version with space travel.
You just managed to take any excitement I had and destroy it.
Those games are really fun.
I don't know.
But those are games where you make the fun.
Yeah.
The experience depends on you.
It's the survival part of it that I generally don't like.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to fucking cook meals and shit. Like, I want to be able to play the game and enjoy it.
I don't know how that, I think there's eating in that. Is there? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I've been really sheltering myself from it because I don't want anything really ruined because I find it'll be better that way. That's about it for news. We may have missed a couple things. I can't think of any other major drama that happened. Biggest stuff was all the Pokemon Go crap. People being pissed off. Them screwing up.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I guess we can move into our free-for-all section.
Yeah, buddy.
Speaking about binging out on shows.
Yeah.
So, my Twitter kind of blew up last week a little bit. And I didn't catch it right away, but all these people were talking about this new show, Netflix exclusive called Stranger Things. Did you watch it?
I finished it.
You finished it. Okay, so you've seen this. Did you watch it with your wife?
Yep.
Yeah, same. I think we started on Thursday or Friday, and we're done like in 2 days.
Well, it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, there's only 8
it's
episodes.
Fairly short. It's
Netflix
like,
exclusive.
It's like the Goonies crossed with the X-Files.
That's what I was when someone was asking me. My mother-in-law happened to come over when we were in the middle of watching it, and she's like, "This looks interesting," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's like X-Files, but almost done better. Like it's a little thriller, a little sci-fi, and adventure. It revolves around a group of kids in a small town. What was the town's name? I can't even remember now. What's the name?
It's a little town. I don't even know if they.
Yeah, it's in the
Hawkins.
US.
It's Hawkins.
Yeah, something like that. It's a weird name with an H.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder is one of the main characters. She's the mother of one of the kids. The story opens up with 4 kids. I can't remember all their names. Will is one of the 4. They're playing D&D in the basement at their buddy's house.
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s. It's like my childhood. Like literally, it is
to a T.
Literally, it is like
You're over at your buddy's house. You're playing
at your
games.
friend's house, riding your BMX.
Oh, yeah.
Around the neighborhood.
Totally.
There's no cell phones. Man, it was like Star Wars toys. Getting Atari 2600 for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
is like so early 80s. And anyway, the kids all break off, go home. Will happens to try and take a shortcut home and run into something in the woods. Promptly runs all the way home and is being chased by some weird creature. We don't see what's going on, and then he disappears.
Spoilers.
Well, it's not really a spoiler. It's like the opening episode. It happens right away.
Yeah, that's true.
But what happens next? It's, like you said, it's X-Files, it's sci-fi, it's scary movie, really weird stuff going on, secret, government,
like some secret government
facility
going on
the edge of town, doing all kinds of weird stuff. I think going into any more detail than that, then we kind of get into spoilers. Awesome acting.
For me, what was incredible was the writing and the acting in the show. It felt like they were real characters.
Oh, awesome characters, awesome acting, awesome sets.
As it went on, I wanted to learn more about the characters, which was super cool. Like you could tell at multiple points in the show, that there's like tension between 2 characters, but they've never been on screen together before. And like, oh man, there's clearly something else going on there. Like and you want to know more about the backstories. You want to learn more about all of these characters.
And the conspiracy and what's going on.
And it's just
different perspectives of all the same story. But from the different parties involved, it was a very different thing, which was kind of neat too, because there was the kids, which are the main characters, but then there's the adults, the sheriff and the mother who's got a missing child. The brother, his brother's missing. And then you got the sister to one of the friends who's like, oh, it's my stupid friend's kid, buddy is missing.
Brothers, yeah.
And then, she gets dragged in with her group of friends with this weird thing that's going on. And it's really interesting to see it from
all 3.
Yeah,
it's like
very,
the kids,
and very different perspectives and what they know and what they've seen
and how they handle it.
But they're not all talking to each other.
No, of course
until the very end when they all are like on the same page and understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And more, some groups know even more than the others still in the end, with what they witnessed and what they've seen go on. And it's all about just finding Will in this crazy, like, sci-fi thriller adventure. It's really neat. It's a cool show. It was great. We couldn't stop watching it.
My wife thought it was so dark and twisted and creepy. I've been like, it took us like, we started it the day after it came out. We watched like the first episode.
Yeah.
And it's been like the slow process. We finally finished it last night. Is of like just trying to get her. It was like we'd watch like one a night, and she like because it would get dark, and then she didn't want to watch anymore because it was too creepy.
Yeah, it was scary at points. But then the whole so cool. The whole X-Files kind of. I just don't being very vague because I don't want to ruin any of this stuff. That's what it's the premise for you. It's a great show. It's
a homage to the 80s that's done so well. It doesn't feel like it's forced. It honestly feels like a show made in the 80s. And that's a good thing. Like even the opening title, Stranger Things with the music and the way like the kind of laser, it's a really good show, and especially good if you grew up in the 80s and kind of have sort of that, I think, nostalgia for that time, where you were kids kind of running around, getting into shit on your bikes. And, because I feel like kids back then, we had more freedom.
Oh, absolutely.
Like our parents weren't terrified if they couldn't see us, even during the day. I mean, we'd jump on our bikes and we'd be gone for hours, and our parents...
Absolutely. You'd ride across town.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd
and our
ride
parents never thought anything about it.
You'd ride 10 kilometers to go to one of your friends. It's ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely.
Now you wouldn't be allowed to ride freaking 4.
No. So, I mean, it's, but all in all, fantastic show, great acting, great story. In my opinion, they nailed it. It had such a good vibe, such a cool feel. And like I said, it's like a cross between the Goonies and the X-Files.
It's like a conspiracy movie, and it's a scary movie, but it's not like your crazy Japanese nonsense. Like, there's answers to some of the questions.
Yep.
Not necessarily like
not
definitive, not definitive answers to how some of the things happened, but like how they got there. I can't even really talk about it. There's some cool revelations. It's like, wow, this was totally an accident because they were doing something different that brought them and created this.
Yep. And they've already said that
maybe in a month or two we'll talk about it.
There's been, I'm pretty sure with how well this has been
they
received.
Were talking about, I already heard there was going to be another season, but I imagine it must be a different story, not a continuation.
No, it sounds like there's a it sounds like there will be expanding upon a lot of what happened and what was going on.
So maybe new
season.
Location, new characters.
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously they haven't said, but
I definitely heard there was most likely going to be a season 2.
Yeah.
Whether that's like you said, I don't.
If you have Netflix,
I feel like the story wrapped up pretty.
I feel like they could leave it as it is as well.
They left some stuff open, but
I feel like they could walk away from it as it is, and it would
absolutely.
Just kind of be a masterpiece,
and just like
ta-da,
maybe go into the weirdness that's involved with this company somewhere else,
Yeah. So, but it was fantastic. If you have Netflix, go watch it.
We binge watched it in 2 days, and there's only 8 episodes, so it's not like a gigantic, crazy freaking 20 episodes or 20 hours. It's you can finish it in a week pretty easily, or if you're crazy.
Hey man, if it was me, I probably would have binged it in a day. So.
Yeah, we binged it. My wife really liked it, and it's just different, very very different than everything. It's Game of Thrones and Walking Dead. It's just different, and especially with the X-Files this year being so disappointing. This really scratched that itch for that type of genre so well. Speak
for yourself. I liked the X-Files this year. I thought it was great.
I thought it was terrible.
You're not a fan of the original, though, so you can't.
No, but I've watched the original. I was expecting more of that. Anyway, whatever. I wanted to go watch this. You went to watch Star Trek Beyond. Unfortunately, I did not get to it, which I might get to it this weekend.
I did. I saw it in IMAX 3D.
I hear good things. The talk on Twitter is that it's a fun movie.
It is. It's
some people said there's some plot issues, but
I feel like anytime you've got some ridiculous movie off in the 2025 or whatever the hell this
anything not
is.
Based in realism is going to have plot issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you get the scientists involved in the.
It's beautiful. It's well shot. The special effects are fantastic. It's a big ridiculous, sci-fi film with quite a bit of action. I mean, if you've seen, the last two Star Trek films, Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, then you kind of know what to expect. I mean, this didn't really change that formula up too much. Really enjoyed it. Great film. If you're, I don't know, it's an interesting one to me because I feel like it's a film that you're going to watch and you're kind of going to almost forget though. I don't know how well the staying power it's got, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. But no, I mean, we saw it, like I said, IMAX 3D, big, ridiculous screen and everything else. Totally worth seeing in the theater. It's, like some of the locales and things like that in that film are just huge and wow. No, it was good. We both, my wife and I, we went and saw it and she, we both really liked it.
How does it compare to the first or second ones? I like the second one, but the first one, in my opinion, was a better movie.
I want to say that it's on par, at least maybe a little better than the second one.
Oh, if it's better than the second one. Not that the second one was bad, though. I enjoyed it, but I didn't really care that much, but people were upset about the whole recycling con, and they weren't happy with how they did it.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert for a movie that's 2-3 years old.
Yeah, I think it's more than that even. I think it's like 4 or 5 years old.
Sorry, a little late on that. It looks cool because it looks different. Very different. It looks like...
I mean, it's directed by the same guy that did the Fast and Furious,
it looks
right?
like it's a new, unique story.
It is.
So,
I mean,
it's the last two movies were like retelling of classic Star Trek movies.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair,
graphics.
To be fair, I'm not a huge Star Trek guy.
No,
so I don't know.
I respect Star Trek, but I've never been like a crazy Star Trek.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with it. So that being said, I never really, like, if they are, I don't know in this film, like maybe they were, but it was a story that I really enjoyed and I thought it was well done. I feel like this was the, starting movie for the TV show that's coming up in the not too distant future. Like, I almost feel like this is sort of like the lead up to that. I don't know. Like,
is that the same universe? I think it's a different
I don't
universe.
know. I mean, it really
CBS is a new one coming out in January. I think it is.
Yeah, but I just feel like this could really, like, not even necessarily if it's, this, obviously it's not going to be the same crew necessarily, like, because obviously that would be outrageously expensive on TV and whatnot, but I don't know, I could kind of see it as existing in a similar universe. I don't know. No, like I said, I liked it, and I think that if you've got any inkling to see it, go see it in the theater because it's worth it. It is a big spectacle, and it, some of the space battles and some of the other things that it's big. And I mean, like I said, we saw it in the IMAX and like, wow, like some of that stuff was just like jaw droppingly awesome. So yeah, no, it was cool. I would say, like I said, it's at least on par with the other ones. I think I enjoyed it more than the second one. So
yeah, that's cool. I'll have to watch it and then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
It's on my radar. It's either that or Suicide Squad I'm watching this weekend.
See, I really want to go see Suicide Squad.
I know I've got a movie pass, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Suicide Squad's looking like that thing that I'm probably gonna really like. But I don't know. It's super hard to read. Cause like the critics are panning it hard, but that's not necessarily a good indication that the movie's not going to do well. I know several ticket like selling websites and things are saying like they've never had pre-sales like they have had for this film.
Yeah.
But I also know like Warner Brothers, like they need this to be a big movie. Like they need this to essentially, by the sounds of it, they need it to be like $800 million big because otherwise they pretty much are going to break even at that point. just because it was a hugely expensive film to make, and they have been just pushing the shit out of it from a marketing perspective. So it sounds like there's a ton of money that got spent on this film, and they need to make a lot of money in order to really break even with it. So they're...
Sometimes I hate seeing stuff on the internet.
I know.
Like,
that's kind of how I feel about it as well sometimes.
Like, it's okay. Like
I said, I mean, I'm lucky.
Obviously, we talk about stuff, and I like hearing stuff.
Yeah.
But the stuff that filters to the top is usually always the negative stuff.
I know.
So then your opinions form. Like,
I've heard that...
Usually if I have something negative, I say negative stuff about stuff. Like, I shit on Lawbreakers earlier this episode. Usually when I have something negative to say, I don't really share that publicly on Twitter and Facebook too often. Unless I really get pissed off. I'll share it on the podcast, obviously. But, you're choosing to listen to this, and usually you have some warning. If you don't want to know, you skip that section, right?
Yeah.
But the general, my Twitter on the internet is like, oh, it's got crap Metacritic. It's getting panned everywhere. So it's like, okay, it's Batman versus Superman all over again. And then my opinion is affected, whether subconsciously I know it or not, it's affected.
See, and again, like, I really liked Batman versus Superman, so for me,
I enjoyed Batman versus Superman, but
I feel like this one for me is like, if you're going in hoping that or thinking it's going to be Deadpool,
no, I've never.
Then maybe
thought that.
You're going to be disappointed. I ultimately think that you need to walk in with an open mind, and
it's a problem with a movie with so many characters. Like, yeah, they had a hard enough time, like in Spider-Man 3, juggling 4 characters. I thought was too many. Now we got Avengers and Civil War, and these movies with like a million characters, and you just see how well Marvel does it, and it just leaves you a little disappointed. It's like, oh, wow, we love the DC characters just as much, and it's like we want them to do just as well. But
yeah, I mean, you got to remember though, like some directors know how to handle multiple like characters and stuff like that better than others, right?
Yeah, and it's more than just director too, though.
Joss Whedon, though, we knew like when he took over Avengers, we knew
no question. It was going to be amazing.
That guy knows how to handle lots of characters and do a good job, right?
So it makes me so sad about like. Totally, I'm going to go off the rails here, but it's like Transformers. Like, Transformers is a huge movie, money-making wise, but they're fucking garbage because of Michael Bay. Like, I couldn't imagine if frickin', like, the people involved with Marvel Productions, or like, I think even the DC people would do a better job than he did. Yeah, those movies make shit ton of money. It's the same reason frickin' Trump is popular, let's be honest. This is the only reason the Transformers movies are so big. They're popcorn flicks, yeah, but as a huge Transformer fan that I am, that vision is so disappointing to me. It's so wasted. Like, it makes me sad, because I'm like, oh man, in the right hands, this could have been freaking amazing. This could have been so much better.
See, that's interesting to me, because
like it has the special effects.
It's essentially got everything that I want. Like,
it has that stuff, but it doesn't respect the lore. It doesn't respect the characters. It just doesn't respect anything. Like, at least with the Marvel movies, they make an effort to pay homage to classic stuff or do a little twist on when they do change something. But they just don't shit on it and go, we're doing our own fucking thing, and the robots are going to look the way I fucking want them to look, and Michael Bay's fucking ego gets in there. You know what I mean? Like they're watchable movies. They're not terrible, but they're not what they should be. They could have been so much more. Much more.
Yeah, and like,
in the right hands, they could have been amazing.
See, that was my first thought. And then, like, honestly, if you go back and you watch the Transformers cartoons, don't get me wrong, they're great.
They're old, yes.
But the nostalgia is what works well.
The lore and the stories, like, there's some amazing characters and lore behind all of it. Yes, the cartoons are not the best. They don't stand the test of time.
No, they don't.
But
and I'm just saying,
the building blocks are so solid for something good. Ugh.
They are.
Like, this...
And I'm not saying that he didn't. I don't know.
He just did what he wanted to fucking do.
For me, it's hard because, like, I've really enjoyed all of them. Like I see where people have, hated on them, if you will. But at the same time, like, they're giant alien robots beating the shit out of each other. Optimus Prime is a badass. I feel like they did a good job of, obviously, yes, they don't look exactly the same as they do in the cartoons.
No, and I don't want them to look. They need to be updated.
And I thought they did a really good job of that. Like, it kind of works.
They're overproduced. They're overproduced. The
yeah.
Decepticons all look fucking stupid.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They've obviously made, stories from the universe. Like, I don't know. Could have they been better? Yes. For me, I was happy with the Transformers films. The one I was not happy with was the G.I. Joe movies. Those were to me.
Those were freaking an abomination.
Those to me were like so frustrating. Like, I actually think the second one might have been better than the first one.
You were a G.I. Joe kid,
well, I was
right?
Both. I was both, man. Like, I watched all of them.
I was more Transformers than G.I. Joe.
See, I loved the shit out of all of them when I was a kid. Like, I loved them all, like, hard.
Yeah, they were just both of them were just.
But for me, like,
cheesy and poorly.
Yeah, the G.I. Joe movies to me,
comic book characters are dumb. Like, seriously, it's hard to portray that stuff seriously. But then, like, you got Marvel. It's fun, but it's still serious and, like, kind of grounded in reality without being corny and cheesy. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? What I'm getting at? Just the way the vision was just brought to life respectfully. Whereas I feel like, yeah, like you said, G.I. Joe, he was corny and bad. Like,
G.I. Joe to me just felt a bit like a money grab. Like, and the people that were involved.
It absolutely was. And it's the same studios and a lot of the people, minus Michael Bay, it's a lot of the same people are involved with G.I. Joe as they were with Transformers.
Well,
same writers.
Because Hasbro owns the rights, right? So they were the ones that were involved and stuff.
Same freaking hack writers. Like, this pisses me off. Anyway, total tangent. So I'm gonna go watch Star Trek Beyond. Let's get back on track.
It was good. It was good.
Pisses me off.
And I want to see Suicide Squad. I'm hoping to see it this weekend.
I'm gonna watch Suicide Squad. I don't know about this weekend. It's either that or Beyond.
That's the thing. Like, I know that the ticket sales have already been ridiculous, and I don't know if I want to try and brave the redonkulousness of this weekend, so we'll see. I may end up skipping the first weekend and seeing it the second, just because I know it'll be a lot easier to deal with.
Maybe I'll go watch Star Trek. Maybe I'll go watch Star Trek, because then I could be on the same page as you.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Well, that's about it. My freaking rant about Transformers. I forgot to mention this earlier. Archive.org. It'll be linked on the Facebook and in the description of the podcast. Nintendo Power Archive, Internet Archive.org, whatever the hell you call it, has released the first 13 years of the magazine. I don't know if that's the whole run, but
no, that's not the whole run.
Right from issue 1 on
that's awesome.
1988. Man, I just see this year. I think I still have my issue number 1. I held on to a couple of the really old ones and some of the strategy guides. But if you want to see a in-house fan magazine that we used to drool over, screenshots and maps of levels and tactics.
Oh yeah.
Back before there was internet and this was your only way of getting video game news, man. Oh my god. I'm just flipping through the first issue here right now. Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers 2. Oh my god.
Yeah, these look like they end in 2000 or 99, it looks like.
So amazing.
So
amazing. I had these.
Yeah.
This is my childhood. Like, dying for the next issue to show up. Like, slobbering over. Because you didn't know if something was good. It just looked cool because all the artwork they pasted on the page.
Like, look at that. Issue 5, Ninja Gaiden.
Contra. Oh, man. Contra looks awesome. Infiltrate the alien base.
Castlevania 2, man. Oh, yeah.
The covers are great. They're so bad.
By bad, you mean amazing.
Yeah. They're like claymation or real. There's some old school cosplay going on here. Some of the originals.
Oh yeah, no, these are
I definitely have that Super Mario Brothers 3 strategy guide that they're showing there. That's really cool. Just you can browse through all the covers.
that is super awesome.
Memories.
I'm glad that that's allowed because man, like,
Man,
yeah.
I was a really freaking nerdy child. I have my final issue 17. I don't even know how they do this. The Final Fantasy strategy guide. I have that. It's on my bookshelf behind me.
Yeah, man.
That was their thing when you
2012
every
was
year
the last issue of Nintendo Power.
every year
was
when you
2012.
subscribed, that was their thing. Subscribe now and get so many issues plus a strategy guide, and you can choose like Mario Brothers or Final Fantasy. That was their like sign up bonus. It was a strategy guide. Oh well. Anyway, the awesome memories.
Happy memories for sure.
I forgot to throw out questions again. God damn it. Oh well. Next week for sure. We'll get some questions. Episode 69. I want to say is pretty much in the can. In the gigabits in your hard drive, flash memory, storage space, in your ear holes.
Yes, in the ear holes.
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Rick F. No K RICF.
And as usual, you can hit me up on Twitter at Dane Cody at DAYNECODY.
Nice. Until next week, I'm going to say we're out. Make sure to review us on iTunes. I'm getting ahead of myself. Make sure to review us on iTunes. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Yada yada. Tell all your friends. Spread the message. The good word of Geekoholics Anonymous.
Woohoo.
And until next week, we are out.
Catch you later.
Peace.